Hello and welcome to the Simpsons Index. We've got a great podcast for you this week with our wonderful guest, Josh Earl. But just before we get into the show, I want to tell you about our other podcast, Starring Springfield. We're reviewing the movies that star the cast of The Simpsons. Like coming out next week, we are reviewing the oldest possible movie that we can review. It's Abbott and Costello Go to Mars, and it stars a 9-year-old Harry Shearer. Go check that out on all the podcast feeds. It's called Starring Springfield. But first, the Simpsons Index. The Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. Coming to you out of SideQuest Studios, this is The Simpsons Index, episode 309. Hello out there, I'm your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill, joined here as always, except when he's not, by BT Calloway.
Oh, hoi hoi.
And joining us all the way from beautiful Melbourne, first-time guest, welcome into your hearts, it's Josh Earl.
Thank you. I wanted to wait 308 episodes just to make sure you guys were serious about this, and then I wanted to come in. Yeah,
that's the sweet spot. Everyone knows that.
That's it. Every Simpsons podcast that comes around and only reviews the first 200 good episodes or whatever. Nah, we're here, 300 podcast episodes, having reviewed over 750 of the fucking things. But yeah, thank you for joining us for the Simpsons Index. Yeah, if you didn't get that all from the premises, we review Simpsons. And Josh, you're a first-time guest. We like to ask our first-time guests, where did the show begin with you? What's your Simpsons history?
I'm old enough that I remember when it was big, like it was the thing of like
Yellow
it was
fever.
coming. It was that thing of like we heard that it was very popular. We heard it was very funny, and parents were horrified. They hadn't seen it yet, but they were like, "No, this is not a cartoon for children." And then we watched it, and my parents were like, "Oh, this is rubbish." They kind of said, "Oh, it's." The drawings are bad, blah, blah, blah. And then, occasionally they'd kind of smirk and laugh. And then you realise, the show has so much heart that I think that's what got my parents over the line. And then by series like 3 or 4, it was like appointment viewing in the Earl household. We were all sitting down watching it, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So, yeah, you're all gathering around for the 6 o'clock Simpsons and all that. Yeah.
Because especially in Tassie, because we didn't get 10.
Oh.
We got the Simpsons, though, but I can't remember what night of the week it was, but it wasn't like the big one. Because I remember my cousin lived on the mainland, and he was like going, the Simpsons and the X-Files, it's the best night of TV. And we're like, we don't get them on the same night.
Oh, you missed out on X-Files as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I remember that being the Wednesday night thing, new Simpsons episode and X-Files,
Yep.
One of our previous guests, you might know her, Claire Sullivan, also from Tassie.
Yeah.
They all know each other.
Well, she was from the south of the state. I'm from the north of the state, and so there was a real divide between Southern Cross and Wynn. We didn't get Wynn, and so she might be younger where they finally did, but for a while there, only the northern states got The Simpsons.
Interesting, yeah, because Claire and Lauren Bock used to have a podcast where, because Claire had never seen any Simpsons, she was taking her through the best episodes. Yep. And we had her on as a guest one time, and that still boggles my mind, any Australian growing up without the Simpsons involved, at least somehow.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Because I remember there being 2 stations in Tassie for a long, long time. And occasionally, if it was a very clear night in the summer, we'd get the mainland channels. And it was because, this will like dag me out, but it's that thing of like, as a family, we watched Home and Away every night. And occasionally, if it was a clear night, because we were 3 months behind, and then you'd get like, you can tune in and see what's happening in 3 months' time. Yeah, it was like we were so excited about it. Yeah.
Wow. Kids these days just wouldn't know.
I know, wouldn't understand at all.
So how about now? Where are you at with the show now? Have you kept up with it over the years? You're watching new episodes? Do you revisit the classics? Where are you at?
I'm at where I've got kids. My kids are 14 and 11, and they went through a real phase where they loved it. So every night we would watch 2, maybe 3 episodes of The Simpsons.
Awesome.
And for a while, my youngest wouldn't have a bath unless The Simpsons were on. So going through, and so just earlier this year, we went to a holiday, and it was raining for like 2 days straight. And so we pretty much stayed in the hotel and watched The Simpsons. And afterwards, both my wife and I were like going, that was actually a pretty good holiday, even though it rained. Like
that's some quality family time. That's beautiful.
Because there was that season, the Mr. Plow episode was the one that got us going. Yeah, let's watch another one. This is great. So do you know what season that is off the top of your head? Like, is that
I believe it's 4.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, right in the sweet spot of the golden era.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome that, you bring it to the next generation and continuing the trend. I love that it was a negotiation tool of getting it to have a bath.
Well, my youngest is really into another Matt Groening show, which I'm going to get the name wrong, but is it Disenchantment?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's watched that like 7-8 times through.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah. So I understand there might be people going, oh, it's got some inappropriate stuff in it. He's fine. He's seen it all. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, the amount of stuff with Simpsons where we've gone to re-review that, and it's like, my parents letting me watch this.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
That went right over my head.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like the whole episode where, Grandpa makes, basically Viagra for Homer in a bathtub.
Well, when Bart gets the job in the brothel and Grandpa Simpson walks in and walks straight back out, it's like such a funny scene, but it's like, how do I explain that to my kids?
Yeah. So how about the new episodes? Are you watching them? The kids watching them at all, or...?
I haven't watched any of the new episodes, although I did hear. So I did watch the one where it was the takeover, and so when Martin is
the hackers,
that one. I watched that one because I heard great things, and I wanted to watch the Martin bit of it where he's like, the undercover cop. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely the highlight sketch of that episode. Just
yeah.
Well, yeah, because Good Ones did an episode about that.
Well, yeah, I think that's what it was. Enough people were saying that it was really great. I think it was Beck Shaw, I don't know if you know Brocklesnitch on the socials. She was talking about how amazing that whole season has been.
Yeah, right.
And so I thought, I'll go and I'll have a look at this one because I rate her ideas on comedy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you for letting us take you further into this brave new era of the show. So, the episode we're reviewing today is Season 31, Episode 18, The Incredible Lightness of Being a Baby. First released in April of 2020, don't know if you could tell by the chalkboard gag, and it was directed by Bob Anderson and written by, get this, Tom Gamble and Max Pross?
Yeah.
Seinfeld fucking writing legends? Yeah.
They wrote Seinfeld, they wrote for Saturday Night Live, they wrote for The Wonder Years. It was like, these two guys have been around. I think they wrote for The Late Show, David Letterman's The Late Show, like the early years.
Yeah. Well, because I knew they were in the Simpsons writing room and they've had a couple of credits, but it hasn't been for a while. And I was so surprised to see that come up. Like, yeah.
Well, because they wrote for like Saturday Night Live in 79. So they would have been early 20s then.
Yeah, wow.
And so this is 40 years after that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And comedy is something that it ages like fruit. Like it is one of those things that like you do age out of being able to write like cutting edge stuff.
Yeah, it is very hard to stay relevant.
Not to get too far ahead of myself, but I very much enjoyed this episode.
Yeah?
All right.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. How about you, BT? Did you enjoy this episode?
I would if it was finished.
Yeah, COVID hit and they kind of pulled production. Well, I forgot to do the synopsis. Yeah, in this episode, Marge takes Maggie to a playground and she has a undying love for this baby Hudson, but Marge hates his mum. And in the other story, it's not quite an A and a B story. It's just...
Yeah, they're both pretty equal billing.
Yeah. Cletus has a helium mine in his backyard and Mr. Burns catches wind of it and wants Homer to trick him into getting that precious helium. You enjoyed this one.
Look, because I've not seen it, and you hear the things like The Simpsons is so bad, it's not very good anymore. And then I watch this going, this is fine. This is like a good half hour. And I will agree with you, Peter. It is, we'll probably get to this later, but the end of it shouldn't be at the end. It should be in the middle of the episode.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to jump right in and say what stood out to me from this one is the time. Because, you haven't seen a lot of new Simpsons, Josh. It's been a weird trend where for the majority of the 30s, they've, cut out the intro completely and just sort of gone straight into episode. And then we'll often have, a bit over the credits as well.
Yep.
This one was, the complete opposite. We get, long intro, extended couch gag, and a big song parody at the end. And I just had to do the math on this one. Yeah, it's a 20-minute, 40-second episode. Pretty short, again, by Simpson standards. 2 minutes of which is the parody song.
I was about to say, that's not including couch gag.
That is including couch gag.
Okay.
So 18 minutes, 40 if you cut out the 2-minute song parody at the end. And then if you cut out the extended intro, which is about 90 seconds, it's basically only a 17-minute long episode, which really felt like it to me.
So can we talk about the intro? Because having not seen any episodes past, I'm going to say season 13 or whatever.
It was one of those things where I started the episode and we got the intro sequence. Like, oh, wow, you don't see this a lot in this era. and then it cut it in half, and
Yeah, so it starts off saying no school or whatever. There's no one in the classroom.
Online,
the streets are empty. So I'm guessing, okay, I realise, all right, it's COVID. But then it goes into whatever that animation was. Was that a parody of something that I just didn't understand?
I feel like it's got to be.
Yeah, I remember in my research it was just like a guest animator. I don't know if it was doing something specific.
Oh, really? Because I was like, this for sure has to be a reference I just don't get.
Yeah, because I thought maybe it's some like, look, I don't know what Fortnite looks like, but maybe I thought it was something like that, because I'm thinking at the time, is that what everyone was playing Fortnite?
It's got kind of a video gamey thing. I wouldn't say it's Fortnite. It's very stylized, and it does look good. I just assumed it was an intro, like a riff on the intro of another show, but...
Yeah, well, it pulls out and they're all wearing VR goggles and like...
Yeah, so maybe it's meant to be VR style or something.
Well, again, like, I'm a big gamer, but VR helmets make me sick, so I don't know that much about VR games, but yeah, I feel like if it was a game reference, I'd still know it from...
Yeah.
So the couch gag was animated by Michael Socha and produced by Ron Diamond. And they previously did 2 other couch gags. I don't know if you remember that weird red, black and white one from What to Expect When Bart's Expect. It's this sort of similar, like, kind of cutout look and very minimal color palette sort of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, look, it doesn't look bad and it's interesting, but it does have the weird thing of, you start with a regular intro sequence, which then stops once Bart, doesn't leave school because he's not there. But then you get a second, like an extended couch gag, and it's kind of also mirroring the intro sequence, because you're still going through Springfield and going from character to character. So look, it looks good. It's a little confusing. I don't know why they just didn't pick one or the other.
Yeah. They really wanted to get in their COVID reference, definitely.
Yeah.
How about you, Josh? What stands out to you from this episode, for better or worse?
Look, I found that it was interesting that there's like no Bart or Lisa at all in it, apart from the one scene at the table where like Homer says, I've got to lose weight. Everyone looks
making
at
that
the
paycheck.
side. Yeah. So instead of having pancakes and flapjacks, he just has pancakes. I like Cletus, so I was glad that character is there. I mean, it was a very weird thing with the playground, and then like, has that baby been in it before? The one that...
No, this is new.
Okay. And it was just like, oh, we don't go to this playground. And I'm like, why wouldn't you go to the nice playground all the time, Marge?
Yeah.
Like, anyway, as a parent who's been around those kind of things, you do always hope that your kids become friends with people whose parents are cool.
Well, I was going to ask, and, without getting into doxing anyone, has that happened where they've made the best friend in the world and their parents just suck?
I had now I don't think this will get out. They won't listen to it. Not for me, but my wife, who's very friendly, much friendlier than I am, and always sees the best in people. She made friends with a woman who, like, just kind of offloaded on her, told her all these problems. And then on Christmas Day, came to our house with a bag of her clothes that she was getting rid of, including like her underwear, and I'm like, what are you doing? And so that was
present
as a hey, these don't fit me anymore, they might fit you.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, have my hand-me-downs.
It was, and on Christmas Day as well. And look, this woman, their family don't celebrate Christmas, but they know that it's Christmas Day.
Yeah,
like it's that thing of like, all right. Even though I've spent the whole day going through my wardrobe, I know other people are spending the time with their families. And so it was, that's the weirdest one. And that was the one where she pretty much had to say, hey, this is not appropriate. Like,
yeah, that feels like a line from a sitcom of like, hi, I know it's Christmas Day, but I forgot that was a thing, and all the shops are shut, and I want to get rid of this. You want it?
Yeah.
But undies as well. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the only other way to read that is, look, you guys are poor. You probably want this.
Well, that's it, yeah. Also, as my wife was like, she goes, I'm not her size. I'm not going to fit in those clothes.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't even think about size difference. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly brutal.
Look, that storyline was fine. It was not fun. But the Cletus and Homer one was the funnier storyline.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually a wild coincidence because yesterday we recorded a index where it was another episode that happened to have a plot hinge on Cletus.
Yeah, very Cletus-heavy week we're having.
Yeah, I totally didn't plan that, but it was interesting to see like two versions of it where, yesterday's was much, much worse than this.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't hate this one by any means. It was fine. I think it's sort of the problem with reviewing new Simpsons that once you put it under a bit of like a critical review analysis, it more falls apart. But like, yeah, as a half an hour or 17 minutes of television, it was fine.
Yeah.
How about you, BT? What stands out to you from this one, for better or
Look,
worse?
it's got to be the ending. Like, there's nothing else that really I even want to dig into as much, because both plot lines kind of just stop. Not stop suddenly, but, Mr. Burns has Homer trying to trick Cletus, but Homer has a change of heart, and it's just like, no, he tells Cletus everything, and then Mr. Burns is like, okay, I'll pay him a fair amount for the helium. And Marge is just like, okay, Maggie, you were like this boy, I'll just get along with his mother. And that was it. And then we just had this, long best friend musical parody, the Queen's Best Friend.
The Queen's Best Friend.
Not the Queen's. I don't know. It's just called You're My Best Friend, isn't it?
Yeah.
So You're My Best Friend by Queen, music parody of Homer and Cletus singing. And it goes for so long. And I'm like, and my notes literally go into all capitals. Like, this isn't even over the credits. You had time.
Well, this is the thing. I listen to this going, as someone who's written comedy songs, going, this is first draft at best. Like, you can even tell with the voice actors who weren't giving it much. Like, they weren't trying to sing it. They were just kind of talking it because it didn't fit the rhythm. Like, the meter wasn't the same. If you're going to do a parody song, you have to at least fit the meter. Like, but this didn't do that. But I was saying, like, this should have been in when Homer and Cletus were getting on. It could have been in the middle of the episode.
Yeah.
Make it so, now we're seeing their friendship, now we're seeing the bond, now we're seeing why Homer's not going to betray him.
Yeah, that's where you use the montage to accelerate the friendship,
Yeah. But to have it at the end was absolutely, like you're saying, but it's that thing of going, it obviously didn't fit. They go, the episode finishes here, and this is like a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, at the very least, if you have to have it, put it over the credits. It frees up 2 whole minutes of episode.
Yeah.
No, it was a crazy choice. And like the whole feeling first draft, it's one of these things where it went on so long and it like gave me time to think about it. The instrumentation choice was weird because it was just like a single like synth keyboardy sort of sound.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, you're not going to do the full band parody, so okay, but why just this instrumentation?
Why not just a banjo and a jug?
Well, yeah, and we're at Cletus's. Why are we using electronic instruments at all? Yeah. Where's the washboard? There's more washboard, please.
So is
I got
this
a fever.
Is this clearly a they were in lockdown, not sure how episodes were being put together, but because animating and all that kind of stuff feels like it's the type of stuff that you could do online pretty easily and send it through.
Yeah, look, I don't think this episode can get away with that excuse because
too early. Yeah.
Too early. Like the episodes take about a year from beginning to end to produce. So by the time like lockdowns kicked in, this would have essentially been
quite
done.
along the pipeline. Yeah,
I think just adjusting that small little bit in the intro sequence was about all they had time to do between March and April of 2020 when this came out. So I'd like to give it that excuse, but I'm too much of a Simpsons fan. I know that's not the case. But I mean, it was one of the things where the song was like, "Ooh, you make me grits." I'm like, that's cute, but then it just sort of keeps going.
Yep.
Also, like, there's the obvious joke in there, like, hit some high notes, have some helium. But they didn't even do that. Like, the whole show is, like, the episode is about, all right, Cletus has helium underneath the house. And there is the parody of the Traveling Wilbur... No, what's what's the show? The Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
I almost said Traveling Wilburys. Beverly Hillbillies. Like,
you can see the connection.
Yeah, they do a parody of that, which is fine. That's a very fun parody that they do. Like, from the intro where he's, like, going... Air Gold, and then says Texas Tea says HE is the thing, and it's like it's great, but like then to do a second one and not have it be as good is like it's baffling.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. So, Josh, on the Simpsons Index, we think the 2 pillars that make a great Simpsons episode, and you mentioned it before, is like the balance of wackiness and heart, being able to bring in the cartooniness, but also the emotional gut punches that, really hook you in. So, starting out, how was the wackiness of this episode? Was this a particularly cartoony episode of The Simpsons?
Yeah, I think there was. There's a lot of good helium gags in it, Mr. Burns as well. And we haven't mentioned Homer having the pizza in the boot and going, I've been thinking about you all night. And then, that was great. And then the very quick cutaway joke where he opens the glove box to get his, like, driving gloves out. And there's 2 other things underneath. And I had to actually pause to see what they were. One was over-the-shoulder corn holders.
Yeah.
And the other one was another... do you read what it was?
No, I've started like I've hated this when Simpsons do this, where they'll do like a text gag, but it's like kind of a wall of text. Like this isn't like as egregious as it's been in the past, where they'll like do magazine parodies and have like 50 fucking magazine word jokes there, and I'm like, I ain't reading this. And so anytime any of that shit comes up and Homer's like, opens the glove box, here's 3 sight jokes, I'm like, I'm not doing this.
It's like, no, if you're expecting to rewind this to laugh at you, no. If you want me to laugh at your jokes, present them to me. Don't flash them at me.
I did also like in Cletus's house where the TV was broken, but there was like a squirrel, something living inside it. I thought that was cute. But then the Maggie and the baby, like the friend, I don't know. There wasn't much to it. Like, also, we haven't mentioned, like, she just finds the first birthday invitation, but we didn't see Marge get that. Yeah,
there was no lead into that.
Yeah,
that was
just
weird as well.
Why wouldn't she just chuck it in the bin? Like, yeah.
Yeah, and you had time to do the scene of her getting the invitation and being like, ugh.
Yeah. Or the mum dropping it around herself and Marge making excuses why they can't come in, or the mum making even more bad comments about the house or whatever it is. Like, really show that this woman's awful, because she was pretentious, but she wasn't that
was
awful.
Kind of my big note as well. It's like, if you're going to have Marge, someone who finds good in everybody, hates somebody so much she doesn't even want, her daughter around them, they have to be pretty terrible.
Yeah.
And there's just, there's not really enough. Like, the woman talks down to her a little bit and is a bit pretentious and iffy. And she gives her that sexual history thing for some reason. But even then, Marge fills it out. That's not the breaking point.
Yeah.
Like, surely if she'd maybe insulted Maggie, that would have been enough.
That would have tried to baby-proof her spiky hair. I guess there's that.
I guess, but it's also just, I don't know. If they've been like, oh, I see you let your baby have a spike ball head. I don't know. It doesn't quite feel like enough.
And destroying the pacifier in baby side, apparently. Yeah.
That's just disinfecting. That's
there was enough wackiness. It was fine. It was enough that you go, this needs to be a cartoon.
Yeah, I'm surprised, actually, though, bringing it back to the Homer Cletus story, that there wasn't more wackiness with Mr. Burns, because, and then it's all, like, done in a big clump at the end where he takes the balloon and then he floats up into the power lines and shock, and it's like, why are we doing
a lot
this?
of that was because, Homer first shows up and Cletus is just huffing the helium in and then blowing it into balloons as it's coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can show you a better way. And then he gets him like a mill, basically, which did have a quick side joke I like, because a pig is turning the wheel, but the pig is following like a pin-up poster of another pig. And I'm like, they didn't call attention to it, so I like they left that in the background.
Yeah, don't want to see what magazine they got that from.
But the thing is, like, then Homer meets up with Mr. Burns. He's like, excellent, the plan is working. He's like, wait, what is your plan? How does this get you the helium? And then it's just make him sign this contract. Like, you could have started with that.
There is something about, like, Cletus is too stupid for them to outsmart. And there was, like, a couple of, like, wacky moments where, Mr. Burns takes the moonshine and he's having a really bad trip. And I don't know if they intended this, but it's a detail that I like, where then when Homer has the moonshine later in the episode and he goes through a similar moonshine hallucination, he's all happy and smiles and dealing with it really well. I think that just speaks to, Homer's, like, can be on board for riding the effects of whatever this hillbilly swill is, and while Mr. Burns had a more difficult time with it. Yeah,
I did like the moonshine gag where Cletus's wife was drinking non-alcoholic moonshine. I thought that was very good.
Yeah, that's nice.
I also like the two goons. One's going to hurt you, or one's going to laugh at it. I thought that was a nice little thing that.
Yeah, that was my big laugh out loud moment for the episode, where I think it was they then hurt Smithers at the end, and then he found it funny. And then, when Mr. Burns is in the power lines, it's like, that was such a weird scene, but then that punctuated the joke in a way that I was like, I'm down.
I did like them every time they came back. Their first introduction but Homer's like, well, how do I know which one hurts me and which one laughs? It's like, that's a bit clunky.
Bit laboured, Yeah.
But
on the other side, how was the heart of the episode? Did you feel the emotions?
No.
Well, it was only Homer and Cletus, and that was fun, but it wasn't like the Simpsons of old, where it's like, all right, this is real. Like, you could really get you sometimes. But it was, like I said, it was fine. I enjoyed myself in this episode. Yeah.
It just does have the problem of, Homer doesn't do what Mr. Burns says to no consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like almost a parallel thing where it's like, yeah, Homer and Cletus's friendship is sort of based on a lie, and then, you know, the baby's friendship is based on like on their parents hating each other. So there's almost a parallel of like the friendships at trouble from the outside forces and people here. But yeah, it's like, I think it's kind of like the moonshine thing. I feel like I'm putting like more on the episode than the episode is presenting to us.
Yeah, like maybe it was the plan, but they don't really parallel or play off each other at all. So yeah.
And yeah, talking about the invite before, it's not that was built up as like an emotional crux of the episode where, yeah, Maggie and Hudson are just being kept apart and, you know, real Montagues and Capulet sort of shit here.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean, going behind the scenes here, it very much seemed like writer's room, what can some things of this season be? And they just put two things that don't have anything to do with each other and just, that'll do. That'll be the episode.
Yeah, this A and B plot can go together.
Yeah, where you'd want it, the best ones would be, all right, well, this B plot goes off because this is happening in A, not just because, well, we've got something with Marge and Maggie. What can the others do?
Yeah. No, for real. And yeah, it does make this thing where it's like, these could be parallel storylines, but they're kind of a bit more oil and water right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame because, like, again, I found Homer like a bit endearing here, how he was like, yeah, leaning into the hillbilly slang and everything. Like, it's just so funny. Again, the episode we reviewed yesterday felt so much more obnoxious than this.
Yeah, definitely. But that makes sense. Homer's a fan of wearing overalls and drinking all day, so sure.
Oh, I think it's like one of these things in life where that could, by the grace of God, that could have been him, you know? But ultimately, did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons? How's the integrity? Does this remind you of the show you know and love?
Well, it's one of those weird things because you always have nostalgia with The Simpsons because you go, and I'm sure if I watched, you know, because I watched it a second time through my kids' eyes and saw how much they were enjoying it. And it's like, oh, this is great. But I reckon if I sat down and just watched like the monorail episode, for instance, I'd be kind of going, oh, it's not as good as I remember it being. You know, you build it up in your head so much because of the whole Conan thing as well, because he's done it live on stage. It's always fun. But then it's that thing of going, this is 31 years of cranking out half hours after half hours. Like, I take my hat off to it. It's incredible that they're doing this still at this level. But at the same time, I'm like, if that was the first episode of The Simpsons I ever watched, I'd go, probably watch it if it's on, but I'm not going to go out of my way to find it.
Yeah, one guest we had on recently, I think it was Jamie Kirk, he was like, Simpsons is more of an institution these days rather than like appointment viewing or a show, and it's like comparable to like Saturday Night Live, where it's the kind of thing where, every now and then again, like the episode like Lisa the Boy Scout will get through, or there's a sketch that will break out from Saturday Night Live. But as far as it being a show and appointment viewing, it's not that anymore. It's more of an institutional show. Yeah,
where like everyone would tune in if you announced it was ending, but it's, you know, viewership is dwindling anyway.
So fun. So I just saw today, actually on Instagram, like someone had released the most streamed shows in America, like for this year. And Bluey's number one.
Yep.
But in the top 20, there's like, I think Family Guy, American Dad, and South Park all in the top 20.
Yeah, wow.
Still, where The Simpsons isn't there.
Oh, really?
No. But it is an interesting thing because like those shows, like occasionally I'll watch a new South Park episode and go, oh, that's really good because it's like talking about current events and all that kind of stuff. Whereas The Simpsons aren't doing that. So I think you can kind of go, I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah,
knowing
there's
I never
nothing
will.
pressing about it.
Yeah.
No, and when they do touch on current events, they're always like a year out of step. Like the fact that they did, a COVID joke a month after lockdowns was actually pretty like rare for them. Whereas, South Park can be more in the moment. Like Family Guy and American Dad, they're surprises for me because I just would have assumed Family Guy is more popular as sketch compilations on YouTube rather than
I know.
actual episodes. American Dad, I stand by, though. I think that's the rare example of a show that got better in its 15th season.
Okay.
That's still wild, but I've not checked it out and I trust you.
But yeah, it's not one of those shows where you're like, oh, no, you just have to struggle through the first 15 seasons, then it gets good. No, you can just skip straight to it. That's fine.
Grey's Anatomy was 2, by the way. I remember.
Really?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that show is still on.
Yeah. Another Disney
Wild.
Plus mainstay. God, they've really nailed some of the top shows.
They have.
Yeah. So, yes or no, would you watch this episode again? Would this enter the repeat rotation with monorails and Mr. Plows and all that?
No, I wouldn't say it would. Actually, my favorite episode of all time is the softball episode.
Yeah, Homer at bat, classic.
Yeah, that was one where when we went to review it, we were like, oh yeah, but then like after watching it, we were just astounded with what a feat of writing it is.
Absolutely.
And that's how you do a great song at the end. Whereas this one, not a great song at the end.
No, that's Schwartz World of firing all cylinders.
No, that's it. It's an enthusiastic performance. They're great lyrics that are really paralleled to the old song as well. These ones are sort of like, that's one of the things I love most about Weird Al Yankovic is his ability to take like the sounds of the originals and then just write a new sentence around that.
Yeah.
Whereas this, like, it felt a bit more forced in and it didn't feel as naturalistic. And and again, the enthusiasm of the performances, you know, Hank Azaria's out there doing his Bruce Springsteen impression, and I didn't feel any of that enthusiasm coming out here that he gives to Born to Run. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Born to Run.
Sorry, is that news to you? Had you seen that at all? Hank Azaria's now in a Bruce Springsteen cover band.
I have seen that. I saw him promoting it on Instagram.
Yeah, he does these reels that do quite well where he like takes a Bruce Springsteen song and cycles through a few Simpsons characters while doing it, and amazing voice actor. Not so amazing here. But what would we like to change? BT, kick it off. What do you want to change about this episode?
Let's see. Okay, Homer's diet thing is a bit weird because he starts off and he's just like, "Oh, I'm on a." Marge's like, "Well, here's your pancakes. I'll get your flapjacks in a second." He's like, "Whoa, I'm on a diet. Just the pancakes, please."
I meant to look up. Is there a difference between the two?
I'm assuming no. But,
No, that's it.
I was actually I was going to ask you before, Josh. Have you got any secret dad food hiding in the car? Or
No, it's all just eating the kids' lunches, really. Yeah. whatever they pack their lunches, they eat a few, and then when they bring stuff home, eat all that as well. So
Well, nothing's going to waste at least. That's nice.
Exactly.
I got a present for my sister, which is it looks like a lipstick and it kind of spins up like one is but it's a chocolate block.
Ooh, nice.
So it'll be like, if you want a snack and you don't want your kids to see, they'll just think you're eating lipstick like normal.
Sorry, do go on.
Yeah, so Homer's the one saying he's on a diet, but then he's sneaking food, and it's like, wait, why? Like, it's weird. I don't know why it's not, no pancakes for you, Homer, you're on a diet. I guess they really just wanted that bit where he takes a single grapefruit, and they're all like, but...
To-go? It's not a to-go fruit.
I know, it's weird. I don't know why it's like that.
Also, there's a baseball match happening at like breakfast time, which is also great.
That had occurred to me as well.
Yeah.
24/7 baseball.
Yeah. And then the gag with him like lighting the pizza with a Zippo. Like I thought they were like doing a like heating the spoon joke or something.
Not really. It's just more
just warming it up.
Anyway, sorry, I keep interrupting what you'd like to change.
That's all right. No, I just want that changed, and I think the main thing is have the end of this episode be in the middle, right? When Homer tells Cletus everything, there need to be repercussions. We need to launch into something else, stopping Mr. Burns from taking it over. Maybe if you can join the two things together, like, Marge is pretending to hide this invitation from this kid's birthday, but, then it's like, oh, look how sad Maggie is. And then for some reason they need to bring like maybe the kid's bouncy house isn't inflated. So Homer's like, I know where we can get helium or something. Or he just needs they bring a shit ton of balloons as an apology. I don't know. Surely you have a kid's birthday and you have a source of helium. How did those not intersect?
Yeah. Well, especially with Tom Gamble, Max Prost, like I said, Seinfeld Legends, one of the things that show did the best was dovetailing stories.
Yeah,
and
in
having
ways
them all
that you would never have guessed they were going to come together.
Yeah, that they're separate is, it's quite a loss. How about you, Josh? What would you like to change about this one?
I think that, like, what The Simpsons does so well is parodies of other like films and stuff like that. And with the love story or the friendship between the two kids, it's like there's so much there for them to do, especially when they name the episode after like Unbearable Lightness of Being. It's like you could use other stuff to do, like, because we know that, all right, Marge doesn't like the mum, but we don't really understand why these two are such good friends.
Yeah.
So, and that goes back to, have the heart, and that raises the stakes for that storyline as well. Like why Marge is being unreasonable and then she has to turn around. And it's like, there's humor in that. Also, I really liked all of Cletus's kids.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they could have been in it more as well. Like there was, could have been a lot more fun there with Mr. Burns and those kids. But
Yeah.
And also, can I say, one of the kids looked like Theo Vaughn, which I thought was... Is that too early for Theo Von to be in everyone's kind of like know who he is? But I think it might be. The kid with the backwards cap and like long hair. It was like,
I don't know what's going on, but
yeah, he's a podcaster. And
right.
Maybe sucks. I don't know. I haven't looked that much into him.
Yeah, it's weird. Like he's one of those guys who sometimes it's funny and sometimes like I don't understand what you're doing here. Like he interviews Trump and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's funny that one of Cletus's kids bears a resemblance.
A quick, easy, build to this might just be, Maggie's hanging out with one of Cletus's kids.
Well, yeah.
It just brings the two together, and Marge really doesn't want to hang out with Brandine.
Well, there you go. That's the thing. Yeah, Marge goes, if this is the alternative, maybe the other one's better. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, it's like it's a bit of an easy thing to say, but you had 5 more minutes. Use them. No,
that's absolutely 100% the biggest takeaway here. Is this feels like it just stops.
Yeah. Well, and again, I feel like they got close because, like, one thing I'm finding reviewing the show is I really do love a good farce in place, and like the whole thing with like Homer with the earpiece, and this is all like cliched stuff, but like. I feel like there's way more to get out of that story mind, so to speak.
Like all they got out of it was, okay, say this. Okay, excellent. And then he says excellent. It's like, no, don't say excellent. You just say that, and then it just keeps repeating. It's like, yeah, this is the one thing you do with that bit. Find something else to do with it.
Yeah, that's real high school drama kind of like comedy stuff, yeah.
Again, from industry veterans.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there is something to, especially like the whole idea of like Cletus is so stupid he's hard to outsmart. So Mr. Burns, feeling more intelligent, gets a Homer Simpson who's too stupid to do what he says. So like I feel like there's so much more potential comedy out of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're here. It's time for our final notes.
Now it's time for our final notes. Everyone's final notes. More Cletus again.
There's our parody song of the... what is it? The ABC News theme, I think? Anyway.
One of them, I can't think.
Josh, any other parts of this episode you want to mention before we move on to the rankings?
I think I've mentioned everything I wanted to mention so far. Like, it just seemed lacking in certain parts of the story structure.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, even just going through my notes here, it's like, it really was a quick episode. I think we're done here.
I didn't even get a full... I got a little over half a page of A4.
Any more notes, BT?
Yeah, and look, there are a lot of...
Oh, sorry?
They could have just done... Bart and Lisa aren't in it. They could have just done one scene where they're like, hey, and just... It could have been a fun thing where like, oh, yeah, we're not in this episode. Let's try and do something. And then not do anything. And then go back to the scene. Like... Yeah,
and it totally was one of those contractual obligation sort of scenes there as well. Like, and that's what it felt like, unfortunately,
Yep. So I have, a reasonable number of up arrows, although I'm going to start with the first one, which is, okay, so after the couch gag where they go through the VR, when they come out of it, the animation is shit.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like it's missing frames, and I can't tell if they're riffing on... oh, don't we look shit by comparison, or if they didn't bother finishing it.
I did notice that because it's been such a long time since I watched it. I thought, oh, it looks different. So I'm glad that you also pointed that out.
Yeah, so to be fair, I don't know, maybe that's the bit. They come out of VR and doesn't everything look crap by comparison? Maybe that's the idea, I don't know. So when Marge meets this woman, she introduces herself and she goes, oh, Marge, is that ironic or retro? Marge is like, it's my name.
Yeah. There is funny things like that where, The Simpsons... sometimes do acknowledge how like out of time they are in today's modern landscape like that, where it's just, what kind of name is that in the year 2025?
Marjorie.
Like,
Yep. A bit of wackiness I had is Lenny ends up sitting next to Mr. Burns and his pits just immediately sweat. I'm like, oh, been there, buddy.
Oh, yeah. As a sweaty boy myself, I know that feeling.
Balloons, they're like kites, but less work.
Mm-hmm.
That was a line I quite enjoyed. There's a bit where Marge is all, cooing over Maggie because... she's, building like a model of her friend. It's like, oh, this is so sweet. And the butterfly lands on her head and the dog, Santa's little hopper just comes in and eats it and Homer just laughs at it. I don't know. There was something odd about that and I liked it.
Yep.
Mr. Burns has drunk everything from Yale beer to Flint, Michigan water.
Yeah, brutal.
Brutal indeed. And my other note of whack is Cletus has 2 left hands.
Yeah, that's right. They's both left hands.
Yep.
That got me. I did laugh at that.
Yeah, it is, again, just so surprising to back these Cletus episodes, man. I'm so glad we got you for this one and not the other one. That was difficult. And my notes, I do like with Maggie and Hudson how when they're leaving for the first time, they're like very sticky hands pulling apart. Like, and I wish there was a few more of these things because, as a childless person, I find babies just so disgusting. But I'd like
sticky
it when
and loud.
I like it when animation leans into things like this, and and when they show Maggie as being gross because she is a gross little baby.
Yes.
Hey, how's this though? Like, so Maggie just sucks 3 times, and there's subtitles there. Is that's the whole thing with Maggie? You don't know what she's saying or don't know what she's meaning.
Yeah.
Is that almost cheating in a way?
Oh, no, definitely. Like, especially in this one, because that's the part, I think, in the beginning where they go to the first park, which is overrun with, chaos or whatever.
Oh,
and
that's
Marge
right. She
says,
hates I fear change.
let's go somewhere else. And Maggie clings to her and it comes up with, mother, I fear change or something. But it was just like, I get that I get that she's afraid from the clinging. That's enough. I got the visual. I didn't.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, why aren't we doing this every episode then? If we know what Maggie's going to communicate, just give her subtitles the whole time.
Exactly. Whereas if they just had her maybe reaching for the park as Marge walked away, kind of patting her, being like, oh no, it's all right, we'll go somewhere nicer. Yeah. That at least establishes that they always go to this one because Maggie loves it.
Yep.
And it's not a strong enough joke to, justify the kind of break-in trends there.
Yeah.
But it is a funny detail with Maggie that I like that she is the Simpsons character that has had the most people voicing her because she's been voiced by, Matt Groening, Nancy Cartwright, Elizabeth Taylor, etc. Like, it goes on. And only a couple of other notes. Mr. Burns just has an accountant on, what do they call those medieval torture ropey things?
Oh, the rack?
Yeah. Just have to think about that every time we see the bear in his office now.
To be fair, I did kind of like Homer's thing of, I'm just going to get out of here trying to find the trapdoor button.
Where's the trapdoor? Yeah, it was great.
A joke that even though, I'm a big gamer, especially Nintendo, that I hated was, the rich lady was all like, I got these plumbers, but they're not very efficient. And it's Mario and Donkey Kong?
Yeah, that sucked.
Okay, gamer nerd hat. First of all, Donkey Kong isn't a plumber. They should have used his brother Luigi, also a plumber. Anyway, and my final note is another bit of wackiness. I like how Mr. Burns appears out of hammer space from behind Homer's car aerial.
Yeah.
Like his, that was a good bit of visual joke. All right, but it's time to move on to the rankings. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. BT has the most important question we ask on the podcast for you, Josh.
Well, you see, we like to ask our new guests if they could have a sandwich named after them, what would be on that sandwich? Or to simplify the whole thing, what is the best sandwich? But if I'm going in a restaurant and your name is attached to something in this deli, this cafe, wherever we are, what am I getting when I order that?
Well, when my surname's Earl, I'm a fan of sandwiches.
Earl of sandwich?
Oh, of course.
There was a sandwich channel, I think it's still around, called Earl. You can get it at the...
no, I think there's one in Disneyland Earl of sandwich, which, good.
There's one at the Melbourne airport too. But
to Melbourne!
I would say I love a Reuben. A Reuben sandwich is fantastic.
Yep.
But there is one in a cafe near my house, which is a chicken Waldorf sandwich, and it is fantastic. It's on like Turkish bread, chicken, and a Waldorf salad all mixed kind of together, and it's stacked quite high, and it's a full meal, and that would be the one. If you could name anything after me, that would be it. The chicken Waldorf sandwich on like a Turkish bread, it's real good.
Oh, I haven't heard of this. What's in a Waldorf salad?
So it's Waldorf salad's got like walnuts, and I think it's like lettuce, celery, or maybe I'll change it because I do like dill.
I know it's a hard question. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's also one with like chicken mayo dill, and a dill like as in the herb, but also a pickle. Maybe I'd go that.
Well, I mean, you can have both. We've had that on the thing where people sandwiches are 2 sandwiches.
No, I'll stay with the chicken Waldorf. So it's from a cafe called Jackson Dodds in Melbourne, in Coburg North. It's fantastic, and I'll go that one.
I'm just enjoying the skit it's played in my head of the guy who's like, I've just invented this new salad. Hey, that's great. You're not going to call it something so stupid like the walnut salad, are you? No, I'm going to call it the Waldorf.
Yeah, definitely have 2 old men heckling from the balcony about that one. But anyway. But that sounds like a great sandwich. Good variety of textures and crunch going on there.
Yeah,
like
crunch
that.
is important. I do like crunch.
All right, well, it is time to rank this thing. On the Simpsons Index, we rank using a 6-point scale which starts down the bottom at failure. Maybe if the episode was just meh, you give it participant. But for positive rankings, we got okay bronze, good silver, excellent gold, but for the best of the very best, you give cubic zirconia. I'm going to go first. Let me show you how it's done. I'm going to give the bronze to this one. It could have been higher, but 5 more minutes. But yeah, overall, not a bad time.
Yep.
Not a great time. BT.
Yeah, I was surfing in that bronzish territory, and the fact that just both plot lines kind of just fizzled out completely and wasn't very good for economy of storytelling. I've just got to stick with a participant. It's a high participant, but I don't. It bothers me.
And Josh, please finish it off.
I'm going to give it bronze too, but here's my thing. So in comedy, you kind of go, you start with your second strongest joke and with your strongest joke, and this episode did neither of those. The two that start. That whole VR thing, and then the closing song were the two weakest parts of the show for me, because the one I didn't get what they were doing with the start. I didn't know if it was a new thing. And then the end should have been in the middle. They put it in the end. That's not the end there. And so it could have been higher, but they're the reasons for me that it was like... And also, I forgot about that Mario joke, which was really bad.
Yeah. Well, overall, this one will be a dull bronze. And you know what? We like to finish these episodes on a bit more of a positive note. Season 31 is actually where the show sort of picks up again. Like, season 30 is really bad, but season 31 actually contains our highest ranked episode of the last, 20 years of the show.
Yep.
Actually, the one immediately before this episode, Highway to Well, where Homer and Marge are doing competing pot dispensaries, where Marge is like working at a like real professional medicinal one, but Homer's trying to give the experience of like going to some stoner's house in the 90s, and like Lenny's in a corner either playing Nintendo 64 or bass. Like, it's just a really well produced episode.
I started watching that one because I had a bit of time after finishing this one. Like, I was going to roll back to that and eat dinner while I watch that one. Like, damn, this has some good jokes.
It's so funny. It's such a good app. Oh, but sorry, I just suddenly like to finish on a positive, but I just saw the episode immediately after this episode was War and Priests. This is the two-parter written by Pete Holmes that, like, is... I don't want to bag out other comedians to you, Josh, but, like... He's just totally Mary suing on this episode. It is so pathetic.
Yeah, I heard because he talked about it in the thing. He wanted to steal a joke from Dane Cook for it because Dane Cook had written this perfect thing, and he goes, I can't do it. I can't remember what the joke was. It was like, it's a pun. It's like a throwaway pun kind of thing. But I wish I could remember. But I knew he'd written some episodes.
No, that one is quite weak, but no, the more positive episodes, also The Way of the Dog, which is like a kind of Christmas episode.
Yeah, around Santa's little helper and his mum.
Yeah, so that's one really for the emotional moments. And Live in La Pura Vida, another fun episode. Yeah,
cool.
Good times. All right, Josh, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Tell the people what you're up to. Where can we direct them to get more of your stuff?
I have a podcast called Four Burners. It's everywhere you can get podcasts. It's on every Wednesday. You can get new episodes. I've done about 80 episodes of that. And if you like that, I've got other episodes of other podcasts out there. I did a podcast called 100% Hits Volume Pod, all about the 100% Hits volume series. And then I also had another one before that called Don't You Know Who I Am, where I would get 4 comedians and quiz them all about their lives. It was a panel quiz show, and there's like 300-something episodes of that. So go find them.
I've just, a memory just flooded in. Like, one of my bright spots in lockdown was the Don't You Know Who I Am, where you had like Auntie Donna and Michelle Brazier on, and like Mark Bonanno's talking about that story where he pissed in the boot of his car or something.
Yeah, and Demi Lardner's on there as well. And that episode, actually, if you not only just want to watch, you can listen to it, but also watch it. That one's all up on YouTube, because that was like Zoom came in. I thought, I'll just put these up on YouTube. So yeah, just type in Don't You Know Who I Am, Auntie Donna, it comes up. It's a crazy episode.
That's the most Elliot-coded podcast I've ever heard in my entire life.
If
only someone was playing a ukulele and a bass.
Well, about 20 minutes in, Broden says, "This is why you don't get us all on the one episode, Josh."
But no, it was one of these ones where, I'm out getting my little bit of COVID exercise that I could, and, trying to find some bright spot in this depressing time, and then, listening to that podcast, and I'm like laughing like a maniac on the side of the road.
I remember you talking about that during that's funny.
Yeah.
And Ben Russell was on that one as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Supreme Chaos. Loved it. Thank you, Josh. But BT, what if people want to hear more of us?
Let's whisper this, because if you want to go to somewhere like patreon.com/HireQuest Studios, you can get it on a Patreon, and maybe access like 250. What was that? 250? Did I say that many exclusive podcasts? I did.
Man, that's how many we're up to?
That's
Far
so
out.
many. But if you're all like, no, I'm a tightwad, I can't afford that, you can also check out the free version of Starring Springfield, where we review movies that star the cast of The Simpsons.
Yeah. Do you have any favourite movies that star Simpsons people in them, Josh?
Look, Hank Azaria has been in some actually decent films.
Yeah.
He always plays the bad boyfriend, though.
Yeah,
he
that's
does quite
right.
a lot,
Run,
yeah.
Fat Boy, Run.
Yeah. There's another one that he was...
Along Came Polly.
Yeah, he was the bad boyfriend. I think it was Along Came Polly. And then what else have I liked with Simpsons characters in it? Nancy Cartwright's in some good films.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything off the top of my head, though. I wish I planned.
Yeah, I always put people on the spot with this one.
Yeah, that's fair. But do you want to know in which movie you can see Nancy Cartwright's boobs? We cover it.
Yeah. Yeah, to find that out, you'll have to check out Starring Springfield.
Well, IMDb, I don't know.
I don't know if you search
true.
Bart's boobs in it.
Don't think they put that in there.
But yeah, anyway, that's all that. Links for all that and more in the show notes. But for now, that's been the Simpsons Index. Once again, thank you so much, Josh.
Thanks.
And thank you, BT.
Thank you.
And thank you, me, your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill. That's all the mustard in the house.
I already did thank you. You'd have to do it again. Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. We're also on social media. You can follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and on Threads. Links for all that and more are down in the show notes. And lastly, consider giving us a 5-star review. Why not? We'd do it for you. Now, there's no bonus scenes for this episode. Everything we left in was pure gold, so we'll catch you next time.